Hello everyone, Assalamu alaikum. This is me, Sindhu Sanwar, with another brand new show of Reimaging Education. As you all know, in this show, we talk about in detail about different careers, different professions, and we actually counsel you from different, I would say, professional people, just so that you can actually see how many professions are there, and there's more to, what should I say, careers than just the mundane thoughts that we have. Before I take on board, I just wanted to tell you guys that this show is solely basically an academic show. So this means that you guys can ask us as many questions regarding your academic issues. You can get counseling from us through it. And the initiative behind this for the Greenwich University was to actually really bring the student queries and the reflections of different professions forward. Before any ado, I'll bring on board my guest for the evening, Sir Aly Balgamwala. Assalamu alaikum, sir. How are you?
Walaikum salam, Sundar. How are you?
I am great. Good to see you here, and thank you so much for, on a very short notice, coming up. I really, really think that, you know, I really like it when people just, come forward without actually making it a big issue. So let's start about with you, sir. So I'm just going to give a small introduction. I think I cannot do justice to the work that you have done, but so you're a chief practitioner, and you are an NLP, and you've been an NLP, you've been coaching, and you take this whole hypnotherapy, thing forward. Can you? I haven't done justice to your introduction. Can you tell us and walk us through that how exactly you started off in this?
All right. So basically, by education, I'm actually a textile chemist, and I also have a family business of textiles, so I work in that as well. And over time, as I got along, I started to get very interested in how people interact with each other and how they think and how they perform. Somewhere around 2019, April to be exact, I started on a NLP course with Arslan Larik and Company, and did my practitioner level at that point. And I found that I was fascinated by what it brought and how it allowed me to understand people better. And that just sparked off a journey that eventually led to hypnotherapy, different coaching certifications, different other certifications, and recently I've been concentrating on trauma and how it relates to our lives. So it's been a wonderful journey of learning. And, I was initially very worried, at 38, I was starting on a new path on my career, which, most of the people with me in the practitioner, NLP practitioner were, in their 20s. And it was like, I'm, what am I doing? But, I wanted to do something new and I wanted to learn more. So since then, it's been nearly 2,000 hours plus of, certifications and study and everything from YouTube videos to books to all the things that I could find. And it's been a great journey. I've had some great teachers on the way, and I've met amazing people around the world during this journey who studied with me in different courses. So it's been amazing.
So let's talk about the career in itself. So how do we see? I am actually going to commend you on the fact that how you changed your career at that time, because usually people think that that's the time of settling down, or they think that, hey, this is this is my forte and I'm going to stick to it. You actually taking that particular decision of starting that off in 38, I really think that's super cool. So what do you think when it comes to careers, or I would say professions, when is that call the right call for you to, or for us to know that this is my calling and I should stick to this?
Well, I think it's very important to try new things, to seek out what exactly you want, because often someone who's coming out of a university is like, what am I supposed to do in life? What is the purpose? And मैं कहाँ जाऊँ? What do I do? And then the thing is, you have not been there and you have not seen the world, you have not tried the different things. So it's sort of like you grew up eating chicken tikka, and you don't know, there's other varieties of food out there, right? So you cannot say, okay, chicken tikka is the best, until you have tried everything that is out there. So over time, over your experience, you get into new things, and that's very important. You meet new people. Acha Sundas, okay, what do you do? Okay, how is
Yeah.
that? That's very interesting. How does being in a university environment, how does that work for you?
Yeah.
And that's how you go into a career. So when I went into NLP, I walked in saying, okay, let's do this, because somewhere in my past I had heard about NLP. I had the chance to take a course at that time, and I had not, because I was too busy with my textile career at that point. And and so I knew it was something that I wanted to do. I didn't really know what it was. And I said, okay, let's take the leap. Let's get it done. And when I went into it, it went into a amazingly great new world.
So let's talk about NLP exactly. For example, if I have done my master's in applied English linguistics, how does a person coming from a different background join up in NLP? Can you walk us through that?
All right. So the first thing is, there are different levels of the certification. There's the practitioner level, which is the starting level. And in Pakistan right now, there are at least 6 trainers that I know of who offer a certification. And then if you go abroad, there's hundreds of different people that you can choose from. So as I said, I started with Arslan Larik and Company with the practitioner level. I did my master practitioner level in NLP with Kamran Sultan, and I did my initial hypnosis certification with Sadeed Mirza. And all three of them teach NLP and hypnosis right now. So that's there. And then, I went on to take further certifications. I joined the Jacquin Hypnosis Academy, worked with Freddie and Anthony Jacquin, who were like major published authors in the field. And then, that really opened up the oyster for me, because I suddenly went from a Pakistan-centric model to, connecting with people everywhere around the globe. And it's funny because people say COVID was bad, right? But for learning, COVID was actually very good, because, otherwise the Jacquins had a course, 6-day course in UK, which, I would have to fly over, I had to join them, visas, this, that, and the other, right? So it's been, this last 2 years actually have been great for learning. A lot of people opened their courses free. A lot of books were available online for very discounted prices, things like that. And you got a chance to really connect with people because everyone went online, right? So that's the thing. In any adverse situation, there's always an opportunity. And
Yes.
that's one of the things that NLP teaches us as well, right? How to take advantage of the situation you have in front of us.
I absolutely love it when somebody brings out a really good positive, approach towards how we've dealt with COVID. And to be honest with you, sir, I myself got real good, value added in my career. Why? Because we started the live shows. We connected with so many different people. I think I owe it to Greenwich University as well for giving us the platform. But then actually connecting with so many people, I got a really confident, and I could really practice my communication skills. I really got to know that, okay, fine, I can be a public person. I do have that ability to talk to people, and I totally agree to that as well. There were so many courses, and we really helped, that really helped us as well. So sir, let's talk about one thing that I really like, and I was really blown off, that hypnotherapy and hypnosis. So this is something that honestly I've never heard about. I'll be very honest with you. I don't know about this career. I don't know how it works. So coming from a student's perspective, can you actually, guide us that what exactly it is?
Okay, so hypnosis is a tool, right? And it is utilizing the process of hypnosis in order to achieve something. So you can use it for a therapeutic model, and be able to find ways of helping people. So, so let me just go back and tell you exactly what hypnosis is, right? And it's a bit hard to explain hypnosis because even within the community of hypnosis, there's so many definitions, and
Yeah.
none of them agree exactly what it is. So traditionally, hypnosis was thought of a eyes shut, kind of zoned out kind of person, and a lot of us, initially, the perspective that we get is from movies and from TV and those kind of things,
Yeah.
where hypnosis used to control your mind, right?
Mhm.
And so, be careful of the hypnotist kind of thing, because that's usually used for a very villainous kind of character.
Yeah.
Well, it is used to control your mind, but it's used by yourself to control your own mind with the help of a hypnotist, right? So it's actually a state. And if you look at it, each one of us goes into hypnosis every day, day in and day out. For example, you're watching a movie. For example, let's say you're watching James Bond on a screen, and you know that this is Daniel Craig on the screen, right? And he's hanging on a airplane, right? And all of a sudden, the hand slips, and there's this little black pause, and then you
Yeah.
go, and you're like, right? And your mind is saying, this is real. Right now, you're imagining everything on that screen to be real. You're immersed in that entire experience. And that's the thing, that when you allow your mind to imagine, and that's why we say, in a way, that children, for example, they're in hypnosis all the time because
Mm.
their wavelength is on a very imaginative level, right? So, children find it very easy to imagine things. Play-Doh is there, and then they're making cakes out of it, and they're having a tea party, or they're sitting on a wooden horse and imagining they're out, in a proper thing, or they're in the car and they're imagining something entirely different. So that imagination is actually a form of hypnosis, right? Where you get immersed in a sort of focus state where everything around you kind of fades away, right? And so we use that in hypnotherapy. We use that for therapeutic works. For example, someone who has trouble with anxious thoughts, someone who is feeling depressive thoughts, right?
Yeah.
We use it to be able to get their mind to focus, and to focus on the parts of them which are being able to, which are generating these thoughts, and deal with the events that happen in their life. So a lot of time, dealing with the past means you have to go back and look at it in a different kind of light. And
True.
hypnosis allows you to have an experience which allows you to go in the past, go in the future, see anything you want, right? It's that, because it's all here, right?
Yeah.
So the way you feel is actually as a result of what you think. And what you think is a result of the input that you're getting in from your environment. But the input that you get from your environment, for example, you and I are watching the same comedy show, right? And, one of us, finds it very, comical, and, you start laughing. And I'm like, oh, right? So now the input that we have neurologically, agar aap dekhein, so you're seeing the same thing, you're
Yeah.
hearing the same thing, right? But the thought that we have is different, and that
Yeah.
thought comes from our experience, from our upbringing, from our environment, our religion, our culture, things like that. So that filter that we pass everything through. So in NLP, in hypnosis, we talk about this filter and how it shapes our model of the world, right?
Mm.
So two people could have the same experience and feel differently about it, right?
Yeah. True.
So, for example, two twins who grew up in the same household,
No.
biologically they may be identical twins, but they are there, and they interpret their childhood in a different way, because they feel, my parents did not give me enough time, or they
True.
feel that my brother or my sister was dominating me, right? And the other person is actually feeling the same thing in a different way. For example,
Yeah.
I was talking to this one friend, and she was talking about her childhood. And she said, my sister always got the attention. And then when I talked to her sister, she said, my sister always got the attention. So both of them thought the other one got the attention, right?
Yeah.
So it's their interpretation of what was happening, not what actually happened, right? And so, if you think about it, Sundar, if you think of your past, right, um, what you are thinking right now of your past is just that, a thought, right? It's not the reality. The past is gone. Or if you're thinking about the future, it's not reality. The future is yet to come. The only thing that is there is right here, right now, you seeing me and being on this call, right?
Yeah.
So our thoughts shape our moods, they shape our feelings. And then we say, mujhe depression hai, I am depressed, I am anxious, I have anxiety. Where did you get that anxiety from? Did you buy it from someplace? I doubt it, right? So you don't have anxiety, you get feelings of anxiousness. And you being a linguist, you can understand that how we say something matters, right?
True.
And NLP uses that. If you're saying I am depressed, you're taking on an identity of someone who's depressed. So I will do everything that a depressed person does. And why would you do that? Instead of saying I sometimes feel feelings that are depressive. I feel down sometimes. There's a difference in how you talk to yourself. And we use that to change how the client interacts with his own mind and feels about his or her own life.
Cool. So I know this is I know you have such a small span, and I know you're short on time as well. So can you give us the exact idea how many career paths are there in hypnotherapy?
So hypnosis, you can concentrate in a lot of areas. For example, I have a friend in the UK, and she concentrates specifically on IBS, irritable bowel syndrome, using hypnotherapy for gut-related things. I have a friend who is concentrating only on weight loss clients, so, she's specializing in that field. I know someone who is only doing business related coaching and hypnotherapy, right? So, the kind of blocks that are there. I've chosen to go into sort of a trauma related field because a lot of things work out of trauma. So anxiety, depression, grief, they're all somehow connected to traumas, right? So it could be an event, and trauma is basically, again, a felt experience of the event. It's not the actual event. And so it's very easy to use hypnotherapy to be able to work on that as well. So, there are lots of different niches that you can adopt within hypnotherapy, within NLP, and, within coaching as well. It just depends on what your own focus is. And since, my background, I was very interested in how religion plays into our lives. I decided that, I would use the Islamic values that are there and incorporate them within my hypnosis and my coaching. And so, I talk a lot about the examples from the Quran, from the Hadith, and other things as well. It's not just that. So, the wisdom that you get from a lot of places, you're able to channel into your work and be able to tell the people, or your clients rather, that they can use those things which are within them. So, if I was working with a client who is non-Muslim, I would not be talking too much, or I would say, can I share something from my own religious thought, right?
Yeah.
So I would seek permission for them. But, for someone who is Muslim, it's very easy to give them examples from their own religious values.
True. True. And See, so this is amazing, and I think I should definitely have another conversation with you where we really discuss the different career paths, because
Hmm.
I'm super interested in actually getting more ideas about NLP, because it's like a very big field these days, and we've like had
Hmm.
very small, I would say, counselings regarding it. Thank you so much, Sir Ali, and
You're
being
welcome.
short on time, I am going to conclude this session. Any last word that you have for this audience watching you?
Well, I just want to let people know that it doesn't matter what you graduate in. Your path takes you in a different direction every time you come across something new. And so, just because you graduated in a business capacity does not mean that somewhere down the line you can be great at technology, right? Or if you are a computer science major, it doesn't mean that you cannot be a hypnotherapist, right? So I'm prime example. I'm a textile chemist, right? By
Wow.
example, I've worked in commodities. I've sold cement, feed. I sold chickpeas and pulses. So it's all relative. But everything you do is just a way of adding on to your experience, and you can use that in your career going forward. So
True.
uh, keep an open mind and explore the possibilities. Let the imagination go.
That's
And
amazing.
yeah, and thank you to all the people who are listening in. Thank you, Alia. Thank you, Majlo, Bantwi, Laiba, Farah, Bilal. Walaikum salam, Bilal. So it's been great to talk about this, and someday I hope to be able to expand on this further.
That's amazing. Thank you so much. And yeah, thank you so much, everybody who's actually,
Sure.
commenting. We see Farah here, we see Laiba here, definitely Alia, then we see Majlo here as well. Then Alia saying, it's a great job. Thank you. We really appreciate it. And I think you have a very big following. So definitely we will be getting more in touch with you regarding your career. So thank you so much, sir. I really appreciate your time that you have given. And for sure, in the future, we will definitely have more sessions with you in Greenwich University.
Sure, and I'll comment on this video later once we get off, and I'll share some links where people can explore the different organizations in Pakistan and abroad who are providing these courses, and they can always contact me and ask questions. I'm always
Great.
available for that.
That's great. That's great. Thank you so much. That's very sweet of you. So, this was Sir Ali Balgamwala with us. And to be honest, the sign of a good practitioner or a learner is the way they actually want to uh, bring in the learning in different people and actually let other people know about it as well. So thank you so much. And absolutely love it when people like Sir actually come forward and they really want to coach people regarding different careers. That shows that they actually are really serious about people changing or people actually developing themselves. This is me, Sindhu Sanwar, signing off with a great thought that Sir Ali just told it, that you need to develop your thinking in order to actually take more better actions. So thank you so much, everyone, for tuning in. We really appreciate it. Please do share your insights, and Sir Ali would definitely help you along if you are interested in the career of hypnotherapy. So, Sanwar signing off. Allah Hafiz.